Well, she is the GOAT, and you know she'll have her team right for this big showdown. Krista Blanc and Charlie Turner-Thorne have the call. Enjoy it. We'll see you at the half.
The adrenaline is pumping here in Stanford, California, inside Maples Pavilion. Kicking off the weekend with a top 10 matchup of Pac-12 women's basketball. The Stanford Cardinal dropped to number 4 in the nation after the loss at USC last weekend, and they find themselves tied at the top of the conference standings with tonight's opponent, the number 8 Utah Utes. Hi, everybody. So glad you can be with us. I'm Krista Blanc alongside former head coach at Arizona State, Charlie Turner-Thorne. And Charlie, so glad to have you by my side, back at your alma mater and a top 10 matchup. But, you know, we got a chance to talk to both coaches today. Different pressures, a little different focus for both teams coming into this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Tara was fired up. And not because she lost, but just because her team is not playing as hard as she wants them to play. And then you had Lynn Roberts just really kind of loose. We're playing with house money. You know, we finally don't have the target on our back tonight, so definitely a little bit of a tale of two coaches.
Yeah, definitely so. Well, for this Stanford team, I know that you have scouted both of these teams many times, so give us a scout for Cameron Brink. How do you stop this shot blocking machine?
Oh my gosh, those who saw the fourth quarter at UCLA saw Brink don her cape and put on her best impression of Wonder Woman, but instead of a lasso, she has the length. She has the athleticism, and she has the timing to block just about anybody who comes into the key.
Well, we see the defense, and she had the career-high 7 blocks at UCLA, but she's also a big offensive threat.
She is. I mean, how do you stop Cameron Brink? Cameron Brink, you got to do your work early, not give her deep seals, double on, I would say on the pass, not even on the dribble, force the kick out, put a body on her so she's not owning the weak side glass, and then, you know, really on the perimeter, she's playing out there more. I don't think we're going to see her more on the block today, but if she's out there, I play her to drive.
I gotcha. Well, for Utah, they have a very tough matchup with Alyssa Peely. How do you scout her?
Alyssa Peely, I just want to say Lynn Roberts is so excited about. She's not just an amazing player, but she is just a better person, teammate, and super coachable. She couldn't do this last year. She couldn't score over people. She needed to maneuver and dribble. And then, of course, shooting 46% from the three-point line. You cannot miscommunicate on the pick and pop. Krista, you got to be out there and run her off the line.
And tough, incredibly tough matchup because she can get it done in so many different areas.
And look for these fake handoffs tonight with Utah. They love to do their dribble handoffs, and they do a great job of reading the spacing. And then, obviously, such a crafty, versatile player. She's averaging 5 free throws a game from the free throw line, so Stanford really needs to do a good job of just playing position defense without fouling her.
Some incredibly difficult matchups on both sides here for this top 10 matchup in Stanford. The winner will sit atop the Pac-12 standings. Which team will it be? We'll find out right after this. So many accolades here at Stanford. 3-time national champs, the most recent in 2021 as the Utah Utes are in town. Their starters look like this. Izzy Palmer gets the starting nod, her 4th on the season. She started in their last game in the win against Arizona. And then you've got Gianna Neepkins, Kennedy McQueen in the guard spots. Go with Jenna Johnson and Alyssa Peely. The Stanford Cardinal, Agnes Eminoku gets the start. This will be her 4th on the season. Talana Lapolo, Haley Jones, and Hannah Jump in the other guard spots to go with Cameron Brink. Head coach of the Cardinal, the all-time winningest in the history of the women's game, and Tara Vanderveer, 37th season, 1,174 career wins, but a bit of an extra focus from her. Her team coming off their first conference loss on the year at USC. And on the other side, that's Lynn Roberts' 8th season as the head coach for this Utah team, getting her team back to the NCAA tournament. Last season, making it to the second round and hoping to pull off something this program's never done, a win here at Maples. And the Cardinal get the tip. Krista Blanc, Charlie Turner-Thorne with you. Glad you can be with us. Kicking off the weekend with a top 10 matchup. That's not so bad, huh, Charlie?
No, I'm happy to be here.
Shot from Brink, no good. And Utah will push. Palmer, guarded by Imanopu. Good spacing by the Utes. Neepkins on the drive, gets the finger roll, and Utah scores first.
Interesting, LaPolo's on Neepkins. A little bit of a size disadvantage for her because Neepkins is so good at edging people out and shooting over the top.
Yeah, Gianna Neepkins at 5'11", LaPolo at 5'7". And trying to work it inside to Brink, and it's taken away by Utah. Utes trying to push. Peely, she can hit it. That time, no good. Long rebound batted around, and Jenna Johnson there. Second chance by the Utes. Up 4-0.
And that's the area that Utah has to get better. Rebounding on both sides of the floor.
See if Cardinal can get their offense going. There's Haley Jones.
Talked about really trying to pound it inside. I was kind of surprised to see Brink on the perimeter shot, but there she is, cleaning up the weak side board.
That's right, Imanopu on the miss, but that second chance effort by Cameron Brink. Utah's only defeated the Cardinal once. It was in the 2019 season. They've never beaten them here at Maples. High archer and through. Neepkins, that's a good sign for Utah.
Polo just nailed that screen, and anytime you hit a screen, it's a switch. You got to switch. You can't give her that open look.
7-2 lead for the Utes. And Imanopu looking for her shot, rattles around and no good. The shot's not falling right now for the Cardinal.
I like her aggressiveness though, because this is a problem. This is why Stanford can't get their inside game going, Krista. It's just nobody's guarding their perimeter shooters, so they've got to catch the shoot and keep people honest. And that was halfway down, really.
Brink will take a seat. So Tara already looking to her bench. Kiki Iriafen has come in, 44 and White, but the and one for Utah. They've been aggressive so far.
Yeah, just they run a lot of ball screen offense, and that was just a ball screen, kind of go back reverse action, and Peely had a seal. And I think Haley was trying to get in there for the double, and she was just a little bit late. I mean, it's pretty hard to guard Peely one-on-one.
So Iriafen immediately coming in and has to go up against Alyssa Peely and not able to stop her.
Didn't do her work early, Krista.
No, she did not. Lead in that one. Shooter's touch for Hannah John.
They call that the flat tire or something like that? I don't know, but they'll take it. Great defense by LaPolo on Neepkins. I got it. That's what Stanford needs to do, is get out and run. I kind of saw that late, but I guess they took the charge on Iriafen running to as the rim runner.
Utah, if you're going to pull an upset like this, though, and I know that Utah is ranked number 8 in the nation, but the target is really on Stanford's back in this one. Not as much pressure on Utah as there has been as of late.
Absolutely, especially in Maples Pavilion.
Gotta play your best ball if you're going to do just that, as Stanford saw USC's best play last weekend.
Yeah, that's not going to work against Cameron Brink.
Yeah.
She said, send that back to LA Fitness or something. I don't know.
Oh, and the polo down.
Okay.
Getting up slowly, and that's not a good sign, as trying to work through it.
trainer always wants to wait before they run onto the floor, because once they come onto the floor, then the player does have to leave the game.
Yeah, it's slow and hobbling, and good sign to put some pressure on. We'll see. Hopefully she'll make her way back on.
That was that off arm that we talked about in the open, where Peely likes to dribble, but she doesn't have to dribble. That was a great finish over Brink. Great adjustment after getting blocked.
India Navarre in her place, number 12 in white for the Cardinal. Job using the screen and uses it perfectly.
Great sign for Stanford that Hannah Jump is getting going early. When she doesn't make at least 1 3, they don't win, and so she's already got 5 points tonight.
And not quite the right angle for Neepkins. Pass off the mark. The turnover sends it the other way.
And you got 5'10" on 6'4". Probably want to go with the lob pass there, not the bounce pass.
Brink, high to low, banks it in good. Boy, the versatility for Cameron Brink.
And I think she kind of read that Reese was in, and they pulled her out a little bit because she knew she could drive by her.
He's working around Kelsey Reese, and the travel call as she is checked into the game. Sophomore from Australia. And Charlie Cameron Brink.
Yeah, just a great rip drive. I mean, Reese was even stepped down and still couldn't really deal with the long layup by Cameron Brink.
Kick outside, Navarre off the mark. Extra effort though, the second chance opportunities, and Jump makes them pay.
And that's Stanford's game. They're going to take a shot, they're going to rebound it. And if they don't get that putback, they'll kick it back out. It's like radar. They know exactly where Hannah Jump is.
And ties this one up, 12-12 here in the first quarter.
Good hands by Haley Jones.
Almost a takeaway by the Cardinal. You talked about it, Tara Vanderveer wanting the effort. Neepkins trying to split the D. Shot clock winding down, and now the takeaway.
Great strip by India Navarre. You saw Cameron Brink just lingering there, not really guarding Kelsey Reese on the perimeter.
Jones guarded by Neepkins. Good patience by the Cardinal. Shot clock down to 3. And a whistle with 2 on the clock. As Brink will get some free throws when we return here to Maples Pavilion.
Playing though.
USAA, it's for the military community.
And we're back, and we just want to talk about the Utah season thus far. 15-1 record, best start under Lynn Roberts. Ranked 8th in the AP poll, highest ranking in program history so far. 2-0 versus ranked opponents this season. Last year, 0-8 against ranked opponents. Such a balanced attack. 4 players scoring in double figures for this Utes team. And you can look, this is not their Pac-12 ranking. This is their national ranking offensively. Truly one of the best offensive teams in the nation. Brink will take her second free throw here. And Peely's back in for Reese. I think they weren't liking that matchup. I'm not sure how Neepkins was able to kick that ball out. Gets it off. Kennedy McQueen just beats the shot clock, but it was off of Stanford. They did not grab that rebound, so Utah's going to maintain possession. Get another 20 seconds. Not a great defensive play by India Navarre, just reaching there. Just want to play great position defense without fouling. Stay in front of your player. It's got a new 20 seconds for Utah. Out of bounds offense. Lots of screens going to Peely. I'm not sure who this foul is on. If they're gonna, I think they're calling it on Haley Jones on the reach-in. So again, the double's just a little late on Peely. Yep, just got her on the arm, then on the reach-in. Haley Jones is actually usually really good on being a kind of a rover on the Stanford defense and doubling and getting some turnovers. So look for her to continue to do that this game.
So 3 minutes left in the first quarter, all tied up. And Utah staying right with it. And so crucial for them to come out and start like this, Charlie, to make sure they're right in it from the get-go.
I think this is going to be a barn burner. I think we're going to
a good barn burner.
Back and forth.
And a jump. She's playing well. Struggled at USC. She wasn't the only one, but just 1 point for her, and that's so uncharacteristic.
In both of their losses. And Tara was extremely fired up about her needing to do more. And she is.
Oh, but Izzy Palmer, you know, the junior guard out of Australia, got the start in the last game, the win against number 14 at the time, Arizona. She had had a few starts prior to that and gives them a little more length at the guard spot.
Yeah, Izzy Palmer is truly one of Utah's best three-point shooters. You cannot go under that screen. And really, you got Brink patrolling the paint down there. Just chase her off the line, for sure.
But the good point about not being able to go under. This is a team that has outside shooters, this Utah team. And Tara Vanderbilt talked with us about that today at shoot-around, saying, you know, this is a team, if they can get going, the defense has to be able to guard the three. And there's Haley Jones in that mid-range jumper.
You know, I think a lot of this arena is just breathing a sigh of relief, because Haley obviously didn't, you know, her streak of double-doubles was broken in the USC game. And I think it's very important for her and for Stanford that she gets going today.
Yeah, Jones, 8 points at USC. Now Stanford, as Utah was trying to work it inside to Alyssa Peely. Peely with 9 points of the 17 Utah points. Back cut movement and one for Hannah Jump. That is so tough to defend.
So, you know, the scatter report on Hannah Jump is she's going to shoot a three or she is going to cut back door. So, you know, Lynn Roberts right now is extremely frustrated with Izzy Palmer because she just needs to seal her up. She needs to be right there between her and the basket, not give her the shot and not give her the cut. Kind of I didn't really see I guess maybe a little bit of push on the backside.
And Lynn Roberts asking the same thing, asking the question to the official.
And you know, I'm sorry. Just such a, I mean, this is electric. It feels like an NCAA game. And so poise is going to be so important. You get beat on a cut, you got beat on the cut. Just play. You know, don't compound it. 3-point plays are absolutely something that neither coach wants to be giving up right now.
And we're putting a little wrap on the right leg of Alyssa Peely.
Adds a little bit to that artwork on the leg.
Yeah, it sure does. Oh, the missed free throw, a rarity for Hannah Jump. 80% free thrower, doesn't get the 3-point play, but she's got 12 points. What a start for her. Palmer kicks it out. McQueen gets herself open and sticks it. Kennedy McQueen.
What a beautiful sidestep, and Hannah just actually kind of fell down. And that's Stanford at their best. Right back at gets you running off the make. This is the pace they did not have last weekend.
Yeah, there's really no time to celebrate, is there? But both teams looking to be aggressive. That layup won't go, though, for Palmer.
Here's our track meet.
Imanopu, up and good. Deja Young helping Haley Jones up off the floor.
One of the first things I teach our players when they get to the Pac-12 is if you jog, you're going to give up a layup. Make or miss,
Yeah.
You got to sprint back and get ready.
There's no room for that. With 20 seconds left here in this first quarter, it's been a good one. And help D dropping down. That's great effort defensively by Imanopu.
A lot of bodies hitting the ground. 8 on the shot clock. 14.9 on the game clock for the first quarter. Oh, wow.
Inbound to Peely, left corner, just a little flat. And a long rebound to Palmer. And she gets fouled with 7 seconds remaining. What are some of the things? Those are some of the things I would think that would maybe make a coach pull their hair out a little bit.
A little bit. And also, when the ball's out of bounds, it's dead. So you don't help in. So right there, and Cameron's probably not used to guarding players on the three-point in the corner, but that should have been a closeout and never got an open shot. But yeah, you really don't want to foul at the end of the shot clock. Make people make shots. That was the cardinal sin for me as a coach, period. Just position defense without fouling, but especially as the shot clock's running down.
Both free throws good for Izzy Palmer. 4 points, and it's a 2-point Stanford lead. Can they add to it before this quarter ends? They won't. And a
Nice look,
fast-paced
though.
first
Navarre
quarter.
did a nice job getting in that paint touch. Nice kick.
They got a good look, just not able to finish it off. We'll take the timeout. It's a 2-point Stanford Cardinal lead. The number 4 team in the nation against step of the way.
And we're at the start of the second quarter. 24-22, Stanford Cardinal leads. And they're just the model of consistency. 17-2 so far this year, 5-1 in the Pac-12. Obviously a Final Four team from last year. Started the season first in the preseason coaches poll. And is the only team in the country that returns 2 All-Americans, Cameron Brink and Haley Jones. And also leads the Pac-12 in field goal percentage defense. Here we go.
So a solid first quarter for both teams, Charlie. As the second quarter's underway, and Utah came out charging right off the bat. They were up 6-0, 8-point lead at one time. And Stanford just sort of took their time, chipped away at it, got it done in a variety of different ways.
Well, anytime you're coming off such a tough game, you usually got to shake a little bit off, and I think they've shaked it off and really have been getting their big 3 going, which is really important.
It certainly is. They try to work it in again. And India Navarre, the 5'10 freshman.
I'm not sure if Cameron Brink was out of bounds there. She was right there to scoop up the block shot, but must have been out of bounds. I love India Navarre's aggressiveness. I think Stanford needs that. They need creators out on the court to create shots.
Well, the freshman out of Apex, North Carolina, a McDonald's All-American, one of 8 McDonald's All-Americans on this Stanford team. Neepkins, Hyarker, batted around. Peely, the and one. Oh no, wave it off. They call the charge, but the effort was amazing.
It was amazing, and it was an amazing finish. So people might be wondering at home, okay, she's in the charge circle, but it goes from where they already are. So because she caught it in that restricted area, that actually can be an offensive foul.
Oh, excellent to explain that, because, yeah, I'm sure a lot of people were saying, wait a minute,
she's in the restricted
inside
circle.
that restricted area. As Brink was right there and trying to stick with it. She is smothered by red jerseys.
She's gotten so much stronger, Krista. I mean, a year ago, she would have been stripped there. She's keeping the ball higher, but still, there's a lot of ball hawking going on when she gets the ball, because if she gets it off, it's 2 points.
And Tara Vanderveer told us today, she said, she's a player that I can count on. This is a young team in a lot of spots, and she said that the players from a season ago, Anna Wilson, the Hull sisters, Lacey and Lexi, I mean, they were scrappy and aggressive energy players.
They were
and they're missing that a bit.
The Hulls were 4-year starters and the motor of this program. So it's a lot to replace. People have to remember how young most of the guards are on this Stanford Cardinal team.
Yep, 5 freshmen added to this roster. And some sophomores and other players that hadn't gotten starting time because they were playing behind those players as the turnover for Utah.
Yeah, Neepkins, that's her second turnover, just forcing it a little bit to the post. Very uncharacteristic of her. You can tell she's not happy with herself.
6th turn by the Utes. Inside, outside, and pressure from Neepkin. She's going to get whistled with the personal.
A lot of shot blockers on this floor right now that you kind of get your eyebrows at that rim. They might get out of their stance when they shouldn't. That was definitely one of those possessions.
Navarre up top. Running some point for the Cardinal. Help D trying to drop down on Brink, but not enough to stop her. Largest lead of the game for Stanford. It's been close.
So this is that low touch. I mean, really, she kind of caught it outside the key, but Healy's got to keep moving her feet there and not allow her to turn the corner in the middle. Great charge by Peely there on the screen.
Elna Bozgana comes in, sophomore from Athens, Greece. Tara Vanderveer said, we've got depth. I'll be looking to my bench, trying to find players that bring it. As that one's tipped out of play, it'll stay with Utah, 11 on the shot clock.
Yeah, people that know Tara are probably a little surprised at all the subbing, but, I think she, again, is just looking for a little more accountability with effort.
Palmer, shot clock down to 4. Oh, excellent D. The rotation was there for Stanford, the takeaway. Jones, pretty.
That's just, that low on ball screen is so hard to guard. And this is what Lynn Roberts was afraid of. Like, the ball's not moving. They need ball movement.
Largest lead of the ball game for the Cardinal over Utah. 3. Stanford band here in Maples Pavilion. Krista Blunt, Charlie Turner Thorne with you. And we've got a pretty exciting top 10 matchup. And right now, Stanford fans pretty happy as their team with the 7-point lead, and part of it's forcing turnovers, Charlie. They're also getting some points off of it.
Absolutely. I mean, they've been getting their transition game going. Utah just forcing into their post a little bit, kind of uncharacteristic. And again, not what Lynn Roberts wants a little bit more ball movement. Even that 3 was contested. They're really just settling right now. Credit Stanford's defense, though.
Absolutely. They've forced 7 turns. They've gotten 12 points off of them.
And that's important offense for Stanford. They don't have the balanced scoring of Utah and all the shooters to kick out to.
Yeah, they definitely have to. And they have such an interior presence. They have such length. Hannah Jump, a very capable 3-point shooter, but probably one of their main 3-point shooters. They're not quite the same 3-point shooting Stanford team that maybe they've been in past years.
No, they're not. And Tara talked about we got to redefine ourselves a little bit and tweak some things offensively. I do think they have Prichtel and some people on the bench that are going to get going before this season is said and done.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate sign to see Talana Lopolo, the freshman point guard, on the bench. Tweaked her ankle earlier. She's got some ice on it, though, but good to see her back out there.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, that's not a good sign, to be honest with you, that there's ice on the ankle and she's at the end of the bench. That leads me to believe she's probably not going to play again tonight.
And moving screen up top is what they will say. So that's going to go against the Cardinal. A little too physical. And Sunday for Stanford, it doesn't get any easier. You've got a Colorado team that's been red hot as of late. They got a win today against Cal, but they upset this Utah team, upset Arizona. They've moved into the top 25. Doesn't get it much easier.
And for whatever reasons, Stanford and Colorado, they have a rivalry.
Yeah.
They have great games, and it's always a matchup thing in basketball. But Colorado matches up well with Stanford.
Yep, you got that right. The shot missed at the other end. Haley Jones on the spin move, no good. And Cameron Brink keeps it alive for Stanford. Defense able to get back into position. Ines Vieta on for the Utes, 2 in red. Kelsey Reese trying to draw the charge. No whistle, play on. Brink adds to her totals. She's got 11.
Big sigh of relief there, I think, in the arena, too, because that could have gone either way.
Yep. They let them play, but largest lead now, 10-point lead for Stanford as that one's swatted out of bounds. It'll stay with Utah, 18 on the shot clock. Lynn Roberts is not happy. Having a conversation with our officials tonight. McCole Murray, Tyler Trimble, and Cheryl Blue are officiating trio. That shot no good. Another O-board, though, for Utah. McQueen, she hit one earlier. Can't get that one.
Hannah Jump almost got beat on that same sidestep. Oh, beautiful pass from Navarre to Brink. Little no look. I think she might have picked that up from her teammate Haley Jones in practice.
Yeah, I think you're right. And she was loving that, cheering on her team for finding her 10-0 Cardinal run. And now turnover by the Utes. And Vieta knocks that one out of play. It'll stay with the Cardinal.
She gets the rebound, rim runs, and gets the finish. There's your All-American right there.
Starts the play, finishes the play. Cameron Brink on the Naismith, the Katrina McLean list, the Wade Wooden. Name and award list, she's on it.
And Tara says she's as much the motor of the team as anybody right now.
Yeah, they're really looking for that leader as Jenna Johnson.
Nice high-low look.
Gets her first points again.
Finally,
right?
Their post feed, yeah. Paint touch.
Just under 5 minutes left here in this first half. It was close at one time. It's been extended out now to a double-digit Cardinal lead. Jones. And trying to draw the charge. And will. So the defense sliding over. It's going to go against Jones.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. I mean, they were stepped down off of Haley. She kind of just ripped and went.
Crowd does not agree, but they'll go the other way.
That's a good crowd for you.
So Brooke Dimitri, 21 in white for the Cardinal, comes on.
Wow. Okay, here's my funny for the game. That was about as crowded as Costco on a Saturday. But somehow, some way, Neepkins found a way to get that ball to the rim and getting 2 free throws.
Jana Neepkins. Sophomore out of Duluth, Minnesota. And more fresh legs coming on. This is Janiyah Harrell, redshirt freshman out of Sacramento.
Now, she was a really prolific shooter in high school, and she got a few minutes in the SC game, but just kind of was solid. See what she can get going tonight.
Redshirted last year. Neepkins gets them both. Utah back within 8. Jump with some length against Vieta. Skips it across. Brink, triple teamed. Kicks it out, and a good rebound, good positioning by Jenna Johnson.
Great ball movement by Stanford. Just, that late rebounding, that kind of kills you. You just, you got to know you're not going to get it. Just sprint back, get into defense.
So the 5th team foul with 4:09 remaining means Johnson's going to go to the line. That's a big deal for Utah if they can take advantage.
Yeah, especially if Neepkins stays aggressive and they keep not settling and attacking the paint. I think the key is that what they've been doing the second quarter is just getting a little more ball movement before they're trying to feed the post or attack the paint.
Haley Jones back on. As the first free throw goes for Jenna Johnson, sophomore from Medina, Minnesota. Part of the all-freshman team last year for the Pac-12. Started every single game.
Yeah, probably the least of a threat from the three-point line, but man, does she do everything else for them.
Back within 6. Feels a lot more manageable if you're Utah. And Jones trying to take advantage of her height. Brink found her, but the layup won't drop.
Great execution and just such better ball movement by the Cardinal today than last Sunday at USC.
Oh, and working it inside. Neepkins on the attack.
You never, ever let somebody refuse the screen, Krista.
And 9 points for Neepkins and an 8-0 run for Utah. Gets them right back in this. Brink, little fake, takes it in further.
Shake and bake. And you know, when she was a younger player, she was going right. And now she is very good either way. I think that's her third drive that she has scored on tonight.
Johnson hasn't been as much of a three-point shooter this year.
Probably not the shot that Lynn wanted that early in the offense, contested.
Yeah, defender was out on her. Gives the Cardinal another chance. Harrell using the screen, sticks it. You said it, she's a scorer. Janai Harrell into the ball game.
And she's a feel-good scorer, so let's see if maybe Stanford tries to get her another shot next time down.
Played a little bit at USC this past weekend, about 3 minutes, couple boards. As the shot from Neepkins won't go, big box out by Brink. She's saying, hey, over the back would be nice.
I mean, you know Neepkins has the green light, but I still think she's settling a little bit.
And Jump is trying the backdoor again. The pass was just a little off the mark.
Yeah, great idea. Just not quite executed.
Fran Belieby's going to check in.
Fan favorite. She brings a lot of energy. She's one of my favorites. I think she's kind of an X factor for them.
One of those 4 seniors, the Funky 4, as Tara likes to call them. Yep. And a turnover as the Utes were trying to get it inside to Peely again. Jump, no hesitation, but rushed that just a little bit.
You know, I love kids' movies, and I was a big fan of The Incredibles. And Cameron Brink, I can't help but think of Elastigirl. Like, I don't know how she got that ball. It's like her arm grew about a foot and just took it right out of the air. Oh, great deep sail by Peely. Oh, my gosh.
Uses her body once she gets that deep in the paint, and a smart job by Cameron Brink to not foul her.
Absolutely.
Minute and a half left in this first half. 7-point Cardinal lead. Jump using the screen off the back of the iron though. Peely, she can hit it. A little too much. Great positioning by Johnson and McQueen. The movement without, Brink, great timing. What a read.
Exhausted, needing a sub, and she still blocks the shot. Oh my gosh.
Under a minute left.
Such a competitor.
7, a career high for her blocks at UCLA, 4 at USC. Adding to her totals. Jones, finger roll. She is such a tough matchup, Charlie, at 6'1" in that guard spot.
Yeah, she gets in there and a little hezzy. And that's what she wasn't really getting those looks. So she got some layups, but they were tough contested ones. That's her sweet spot right there.
Utah has been trying to get back into it with some threes. The threes
just
have
forcing.
Yeah,
they're not getting their ball movement. I think they're going to really, that's the main thing they're going to talk about offensively at halftime.
Gives the Cardinal a chance to extend their lead before halftime. trying to take it in, but Ariel too aggressive. Good positioning once again, the charge.
I love that about Jenna Johnson. I mean, she'll just sacrifice her body, step up. She usually takes, I think, at least maybe one charge a game. Just tough, hard nose. She's got to be at least 6'3".
3 seconds. Can the Utes cut into the deficit? Palmer.
Starbucks.
Oh, they cannot do it, and that's the way halftime will finish. And a 9-point lead for the Stanford Cardinal. Take a look at our leading scores. Cameron Brink, Haley Jones, Hannah Jump on the season, their averages and where they are tonight. 15 for Brink and 12 for Jump. She got red hot. 8 points for Haley Jones, trying to get it done.
Well, you know, that's what you need from your big three. That's like we talked about in the open, respond well. And if they can double up in the second half, things are looking good.
So they're trying to get at least to their averages, if not better. And they've gone on a run. It's been a game of runs. Utah's had some runs also. They've had their chances to get right back into it, but the 9-point Stanford lead, and we're joined now by the head coach of the Utah Utes, Lynn Roberts. And Lynn, your team came out red hot, ready to go, and took charge of things. What are some things that you are going to focus on going in at halftime, though? What are some of the things?
I'm sorry, I can't. What's that?
Things you're going to focus on going in at halftime, talking with your team. You came out red hot early, but then Cardinal able to kind of get back in it. All right, we apologize for the technical difficulties.
I'll answer that question.
Yeah. What do you think, Charlie?
Well, I mean, I absolutely...
We'll take the timeout. 9-point Stanford lead here at halftime. We'll set it to...
Stanford would bounce back, shooting 55% from the floor in the first half. Cameron Brink, a big reason why, doing early work. 15 points, 11 rebounds, 3 blocks. She's already got her 9th double-double of the season, and Stanford has a 9-point lead over Utah at home as we welcome you inside our Pac-12 Network studios. She's Angela Taylor. I'm Ashley Adamson. This is a game of runs. Utah jumped out to a big lead. Stanford came all the way back. What stood out to you, Angela?
One of the things that stood out was the beginning of the game, Utah's 10-2 run to open the game. Not a surprise. We were talking about it during the break. Was like Stanford has a lot of pressure on them. For Utah, they're playing free, and so you can sense that Stanford knew that they had to get off to an early start. They were putting a lot of pressure on them, trying to do all the new things that Tara had them executing. But that early start was similar to what Stanford did in the second quarter and ended that game in a 10-0 run.
And then let's talk about what they did that were able to kind of turn things around. And we talked earlier about Haley Jones and what she needed to do after what USC was able to kind of lay off of her. What did you see from Jones in the first half?
Well, one of the things that Stanford tried to do is teams are laying off of Haley Jones in the high post. And right here, they get the ball to her in the high post, and she's going to attack them. Just take a 1 or 2 dribble pull-up jumper and get into her comfort zone. She's so much better off the dribble and off the move than she is as a standstill shooter. And so she's going to close out that gap in that space that they're giving her and take some good looks.
Yeah, she's 4-7 from the floor for 8 points. Payne and company has in store. But right now, I'm sure J.R. Payne's sitting back watching this one, taking it all in. And Hannah Jump and Stanford trying to bounce back up 9 on the 8th-ranked Utes at home. We'll be back with
military community and their families.
All right, the running Utes had a great start to the game down on the farm. Gianna Neepkins getting 2 to go, but right now trailing by 9 at the half. Angela Taylor, Ashley Adamson, before we get you back out to the farm, quick thoughts on Utah. What do they need to do to climb back in this thing?
The main thing Utah has to do is take care of the ball. They have 9 turnovers, and those 9 turnovers have been converted into 12 points by Stanford. Take care of the ball, get into their offense.
Because we talked about one of the big keys was rebounding, and right now they are winning the battle on the board.
They're doing a great job on the board. They're doubling the paint and not giving Stanford a second chance at the basket. But if they take care of the ball, they get more attempts, and they're so efficient from the floor that just gives them a better chance to get on the board.
Yeah, so the Utes shooting 34% from the field, Stanford shooting 55%. Tara went deep to her bench in the first half.
Trying to find some answers.
Trying to find some answers. Haley Jones, one of 12 Stanford players that saw minutes in the first half, and right now Stanford leading Utah by 9.
On the freshman experience. only at the U.
Getting ready to start the third quarter here at Maples Pavilion. 9-point lead for number 4 Stanford over number 8 Utah. Chris Blunt, Charlie Turner-Thorne with you. And Alyssa Peely, we talked about her in the open, Charlie. She's doing all she can for the most part.
She does it all. Just a great space read here. Finds open, cut to the basket. I mean, that's just a great basketball player. Good IQ. Great lob pass. In down to Jenna Johnson. And then this is her getting the deep seal. She's been driving around just about every post player Stanford has.
Yeah, she's drawing multiple defenders, and she knows that she's going to. She's got a great touch, though. 11 points for her. And then Cameron Brink, she's got a double-double already here in this first half.
She, again, Tara's motor, replacing those great guards they left. And she's just, she's dominating this game on both sides of the ball, getting her block shots. And then also just playing strong against the double, ripping through, finishing. I mean, this is something a year ago she probably would have turned the ball over, really, and now she's finishing with contact. Just a great play by Cameron Brink.
15 points, 11 boards. You take a look at the overall numbers. The Cardinals shooting much better than Utah right now from the field, and the threes were not falling late for the Utes. That did not help them get back into this one either. And moments ago, we got a chance to catch up with the head coach of the Stanford Cardinal, Tara Vanderveer. Tara, your team, a little bit of a slow start, but you were able to turn some things around. I saw some positives. What were some of the things that you talked to the team about at the break?
Well, I thought our team played really well in the first half, especially the second quarter. Indian DeBar came in and gave us a great lift. You know, Talana's been playing a lot of minutes. Cam is doing a great job. Haley playing well. I'm really excited about our first half. We need to build on it and just get better.
Yeah, Tara, are you happy with the rebounding?
Well, we could do a better job on the glass. You're right about that.
All right, Tara, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Great luck.
Always got to be able to find something, right, Charlie? There has to be something. You can't be completely
I was just surprised
thrilled.
she didn't talk about it, but, they did play really well in the first half.
Yep, they certainly did. A little bit of a slow start. I thought Utah got out to a great start, but then the Cardinal got right back in.
Sorry, they about made their total from their USC game in the first half, so I know Tara's very happy about that.
Yeah, that's a great point. Shot no good. Utah going to try to chip into the deficit. Quick crossover from McQueen. Peely helped D coming over, and she looks one way and gets the finger roll to go.
Yeah, a little slow on that dig there. Great finish by Peely.
13 for Peely. India Navarre, 12 in white for the Cardinals. She gets the start. Tara was happy with her play in the first half as Brink tries to get in closer, runs right into Alyssa Peely.
Yeah, she nailed her in the face. Not intentionally at all. But Peely, she's a tough girl. She's going to shake it off.
Queen, but Jones was out there on her. Palmer on the drive, lofts it up. Tries to keep it alive, but can't. Stanford comes down with it.
And Utah's just having a really hard time shaking Stanford and getting clean looks.
Yeah, there's a lot of length out there.
Yes, there
on
is.
On the Stanford lineup, that is for certain. Jump, a little too much. Brink on the O board, some contact, no whistle, and Neefkin's able to come down with it. I'm a little surprised there wasn't a whistle on that one.
That's a good no call. They both were in their vertical space. They're kind of going for a loose ball.
No call. All right. I'm with you. I see your point.
I mean, who were you called on? Because they were both just going for the ball, right?
They definitely were.
I think Utah's got to switch that screen. They both Hannah and Haley are killing them with that little mid jumper off that low on ball screen. So that was one adjustment I thought Utah might make at halftime.
Now Jones with double digits. She's got 10 points. Quick passing by the Utes. Peely, high post, sticks it. It's a Peely.
There's a good offensive possession. Extra pass, wide open shot.
Yeah, quick passing. Ball movement was a big key coming into this one, Coach Roberts told us. jump, asking for the screen. Help D coming down. They don't rotate over.
Great extra pass.
Yeah, it's Palmer. Utah looking to push as Brink couldn't help herself with the reach in.
Not really the foul you want from Brink. I feel like if she's going to get one, get it guarding Peely. You know, I think Stanford was back on that possession.
Foul on Brink, her second.
Sometimes if you have a wide open breakaway, you make that foul at half court, prevent the wide open layup.
Brink steps off and Krechtel comes
Right
on.
back screen. That's on Hannah jump. She's got to switch that. Krechtel got picked off.
Excellent read, good look and communication by Utah. And there's Jump with the movement, the curl, shot no good. It's going to go the other way.
Hannah jump did not like the call, but she also is probably frustrated a little bit.
Letting them play, a little frustration right there. She had a solid first half.
Utah's just chipping away, right back in this.
Peely trying to create on the baseline. Krechtel with the block from behind. Carver didn't have the numbers. Wow.
What a Euro. Nice. You call that blood drill one-on-one in the open court. That's a fantastic take. And Utah just comes right back at them.
1-on-3, Navarre makes a play out of this.
Now this is the McDonald's All-American everybody's been waiting to see, and she's getting a great opportunity. Lopolo obviously out for the rest of the game with a boot on her ankle, on her foot. Great so far. Breakout game for India Navarre.
Freshman from Apex, North Carolina. This recruit class, 5 freshmen in for Stanford, the number 5 recruit class. And at the other end, though, Alyssa Peely gets herself to the free throw line. A transfer from USC last season.
And in much better shape. Just got herself fit. I mean, rim running down there, getting that off the make. Beating most of the people down the floor to earn those 2 free throws. Rare miss for Alyssa Peely.
1 for 2 for Peely. 81% free thrower. Yeah, she worked on her conditioning. She was plagued with some injuries over the last couple of seasons while she was at USC, but she has really worked in the offseason. Johnson, no hesitation. Can't hit it. And now the Cardinal trying to push with good transition D by the Utes.
I think those are the possessions that really are frustrating Tara right now. Obviously, Haley Jones, just an amazing creator in transition, but the defense was back. This is a rare situation. Stanford actually in conference has more turnovers than their opponents, and that definitely needs to change if they're going to do what they want to do and feel like they can do this season.
Yeah, definitely so. That's an area that they're going to have to clean up. Difference makers when you start to play ranked teams.
Every possession matters.
Neepins with the crossover. Help D was there as she tries to split him and gets fouled. We'll get some free throws.
Yeah, Krechtel was a little bit late sliding over. I'd like to her to step up a little bit higher, but Navarre just needs to rotate off and let her help work for her. Neepins is just... She gets any little inch on you. She can smell it. She can taste it. I am such a huge fan of how crafty and how versatile Gianna Neepkins is.
Averaging 14 points per game and shooting 47% behind the arc as Brink is back on.
And she's deceptively athletic. Lynn Roberts and I were talking about that at halftime. And when we scouted her on film last year, and then she came in and she was blowing by everybody.
Pac-12 Freshman of the Year by the coaches last season for Pac-12 honors.
Well earned.
Brink. Help D dropping down. Jones is there.
Reese isn't giving up that drive this half. She's done a great job of adjusting.
Jones with the reverse. She gets fouled and she'll go to the line when we return here to...
Next on Pac-12 Network.
4:48 remaining in the third. 4-point lead for number 4 Stanford over number 8 Utah. And the conference, Charlie, doing very well as far as net rankings go. How about 8 teams in the top 45?
Well, the significance of this is we're only playing each other until the NCAA tournament. And for this many teams to have this great of net rankings, it doesn't really matter almost who you play. You're going to help each other. Yeah. And that is really, really significant come NCAA tournament in terms of seeding.
Yeah, you know, the pros and cons, right? But you've always got a chance to bump your ranking up in this conference. That's for certain.
But if teams aren't scheduling in the preseason, you know, and then you got only half the teams or 4 or 5 teams with those strong nets, and it's hurting. We actually beat teams at times, and our net is worse.
Yeah.
So if you can believe that.
Yeah. 1-1 for Haley Jones. Stanford not hitting their free throws. 5 of 8 from the line, not taking advantage. 5 of 9, excuse me. 12 for 13 for Utah.
Yeah, Healy's already got her 5 free throws for the game, so. And, you know, maybe their strategy is she's going to get hers, and they're just working on taking away the 3-point game, and they've done a great job of that so far.
Wisconsin back on for the Cardinal. Newkins drives it up, can't get it. And multiple Cardinal players there trying to corral a rebound. And it's going to go to Stanford.
Oh, came back in and reversed it.
And Roberts not in agreement. She thought there were multiple players and options for that to go out of bounds.
Neepkins is definitely saying, my bad. Just kind of a forced drive there. She's still not doing a great job of reading the length in this game.
Whistle and a foul. Going to go against Utah.
You know, you're gonna displace her. You know, you're gonna displace Cameron Brink a little bit, and hope that they don't call it every time, because you just can't let her get that deep position. Great back screen.
Oh, man, 1. So the third personal for Reese picked up, and now Brink takes it in again. But it goes against Palmer.
So right here, McQueen is actually responsible for that. She's guarding the inbounder. The inbounder's job is not to give up any passes in the paint. Cover for your big girls when they hit those screens.
Brink gets the 3-point play, and it's an 8-point Stanford lead with just a little over 4 minutes remaining in the third.
Nice to see Utah just work the ball here and get a really good possession.
A quick spin move and good.
Or just ISO the freshman and get a layup.
A read by Palmer. 7 points for her. Her second start on back-to-back games. Brink calling forward inside. Why not with Reese and the 3 personals, but the shot short.
Good defense by Kelsey Reese.
Kick out to Neepkins. She knew it. That one was high, arcing, and straight through.
She's not going to miss that wide open look. Great inside action by Utah in transition.
They cut the deficit to 3. Oh, and an offensive foul. Things going Utah's way right now.
This is a little shake and bake. Spin move. Just took Harriel's space. Wide open 3 on the kick out. Great find by Johnson. Johnson she just does all the little things.
Utes averaging about 8.5 threes per game. Neepkins, kick out. Palmer, too much on it. Good box out by Haley Jones, and she's able to track it down.
Got a little push there.
And Jones takes it in. She'll get fouled.
And again, that's where Haley Jones is just so dangerous and so hard to guard. Now let's see if they can capitalize on the free throw line. leaving a lot of points.
Yeah, they got to hit some free throws. Third personal on Palmer. So Deja Young on for the Utes. This was your scouting report for Haley Jones. And
just containing in transition was number one, and they denied her paint touches. She hasn't really got too many post-ups, and obviously top offensive rebounder on the team, and one of them in the conference.
Is the free throws for Amber back on. Big difference in the free throws for Utah.
Deja Young in for Utah.
Yeah, Lynn Roberts loving her game. She's a scrappy, smart decision maker. Healy trying to draw the charge instead.
I think she did. She was sitting a low ball screen, and Prechtel just kind of tried to push through it.
You're right.
On that low rub, you do have to switch out on that, but you can't go through the screen.
Foul on Ashton Prechtel.
Healy's taken a beating tonight.
She has. She's been hit in the face several times.
But, I mean, that's her second charge of the game. How many 20-point-a-game players are doing that around the country, Krista?
It's the first. Not many. Coming off the 27-point game. She had big free throws late in the game against Arizona.
1.6. That's about as late as it comes.
It sure was. Gets these. The season she's having. 20 points for Peely. Bailey calling forward inside, high off the backboard. Good box out by Peely.
Nice pass by Jones, just didn't fall.
2 minutes left in the third quarter. Meekins. There's Young.
And there's Deja Young.
Extra effort. Peely. Pounded by Prechtel. Neepkins can't get it. Oh, Utah aggressive on the
I'm not sure how Haley Jones held off Deja Young for that rebound, but that was a great play. We try to teach him to pick it up and not control it with the dribble, but
and Jones working it inside.
Kind of beating them at their own game with a fake handoff.
Five-point lead for Stanford.
Little stagnant on offense here for Utah. I think they're really maybe looking a little too hard at Peely.
Baseline jumper good. Deja Young.
She has given them a boost off the bench.
Yep.
Offensive rebounds, scoring, and she is a great scorer. She transferred in as one of the top scorers on her Tennessee team.
Yep, she did. Deja Young, the transfer from UT Martin a couple seasons ago.
And that's a program that was generally at the top of their conference, a winning team.
Jones is in the high screen. Peely comes out, and the shot clock down to 3. And Jones gets fouled.
Yeah, good adjustment. They need to switch that for sure, but make her make shots. Peely wants that one back, that's for sure.
Jones. How about that play?
Great read. I mean, I don't know why you're sucked up that much. You got to be stepping down and just keeping Haley Jones in front of you. Sorry, that's my defensive critique.
Yeah, no. That's perfect. Good split free throws.
Both teams are hitting their free throws now.
A little extra focus as this game has gotten closer. And the third quarter winding down. Crossover by Palmer to Neepkins. Too much. And that's going to do it for the third quarter of this one. Utah. They were down by 9 at half. They chip into the deficit. 5-point market, the official grocer of the Pac-12.
fourth quarter. Stanford up 5. Looking at the superstars. Peely, 20 points, 7 for 15, 4 rebounds. Cameron Brink, 18 points, 7 for 10, 12 rebounds. We would expect nothing less. Here we go. 10 more minutes left.
One more quarter. These two teams tied in the top spot, 5-1 in conference play, and a travel call against Young will send it the other direction.
That's unlucky for Utah. There's a lot of traveling that goes on in games, and you never really know which ones are going to call. So I'm not sure what just happened here, but they gave the ball back to Utah. So maybe they stopped play before the travel with the clock. Air ball by Young. Here comes Stanford in transition.
WBB out there for the Cardinal. Navarre's gotten significant minutes as well. Brink tries to work a high to low and does. WBB with the reverse.
What a catch and reverse pivot under the rim finish by Fran Belibi. One of the Funky Four seniors.
I love it.
I love it.
Four seniors for the Cardinal, but 5 freshmen. Still a lot of new Neepkins.
Halfway down, just didn't quite fall.
Yeah, that one was close.
It was a good look.
7-point Cardinal lead. The winner of this one will move up to the top spot. Brink moving out to the 3 ball.
And you know, that's just, as a coach on the scouting report, you're saying let her have the 3, let her have the 3, but eventually Cameron Brink is going to start knocking some of those down.
Yep, she's incredibly good.
Great lane line dish. A little bit late help there by Stanford to give up the wide open layup to Peely. I'm going to hedge and stay on Peely all day long. I'm not leaving her.
Peely guarding Brink. Young with Belibi in the high post. And that one well off the mark for Navarre. It's going to go the other way.
So right here, here's your 6'5" center passing to your 6'3" center. What a great pass, what a great finish. He's slowing down a lot in this fourth quarter.
3 from Palmer, no good. Johnson with the O-board, but Belibi's D, she stayed right there.
Yeah, you kind of have to dribble that out when you get a rebound that deep. It's just so hard to pass out from the deep baseline.
Yeah, very good point. Screen for Navarre. Just short. Brink, another O-board for her.
Look at Brink out there setting screens for her freshman, rebounding the pass. That's how you have your teammates back.
Yeah, there's not much she's not doing, and she takes that one in with some contact.
Cameron Brink adding the mid-range floater with contact, yes.
Back up to a double-digit lead. Peely trying to change that, and she get free throws as the foul call going to go against Brink.
Crowd didn't like that call, Krista. I don't know, she kind of came into it. Here's Cameron just having her way with Peely from the elbow. And Peely's going to come right back at her. That's the fun thing about Peely. Almost every time after she has kind of a breakdown or something doesn't work out, she has an answer. She responds.
And that's the 4th personal on Cameron Brink.
And that is not good for Stanford.
As Peely gets them both.
30-second timeout by Utah.
So Cameron Brink, 4 personals, will take a seat with 7 minutes left. Here.
Try Wendy's hot and crispy fries. Preferred almost 2-to-1 over McDonald's.
Young fans in the stands here at Maples Pavilion having a good time as the number 4 team in the nation, the Stanford Cardinal, up over the number 8 team in the nation. As we see the numbers, Utah's offense on average, what they've been doing on the season, and Charlie, where they are tonight. You got to give some credit to Stanford, though. They're a very good defensive team.
You got to give all the credit to Stanford, absolutely. And also just the environment. Maples Pavilion will do this to you. It just, teams do not come in here and shoot their average.
Yep.
I'd love to see that stat.
That's exactly what Lynn Roberts told us. When you come into Maples and this crowd and they get into it, and of all of the situations also to come off of such a tough loss at USC, you knew Stanford was going to come in with a different kind of focus, or you would think that they would.
Absolutely, and they're doing all this without Lopolo.
Yeah. Yep, we should mention that Talana Lopolo, the freshman point guard, got the start. She went out in the first half. It appears to be the ankle tweak. She was icing it. She's got the boot on now. As from behind, Peely knocks it out of Believer's hands.
Great interior defense at the other end by Prechtel. Great transition push. Little surprised that maybe wasn't a little contact there, but I think that's really going to favor Stanford to keep the pace up in this game. They just haven't been as good executing in the quarter court.
Been a fairly physical game. I'd say they're letting them play for the most part, too,
Yeah,
though.
I agree with that. And I think that's what you do when the number 4 and your number 18 ranked teams in the country play.
Believer trying to get some space. Prechtel, good effort on the O-boards. Another chance. That'll get you some minutes, I would think.
Absolutely. And, Stanford was still going in the fourth quarter, down 1 on the board. So this is something they're still not really doing what they normally do on the boards.
Jones, spin move, get yourself right in there.
That is hard to guard.
Wow.
Could you guard that?
No.
I couldn't either.
No way. I don't know. I think you might have been able to. Jones with 19.
I would have been 4 feet off for begging her to shoot.
Exactly.
She would have made it. So just great fake on the pass. And, she's going sideways. You don't cut off a sideways driver and give him that drop spin. That was Neepkins, I think, on the matchup.
And Haley Jones loves that kind of play as the inbound pass.
That's her go-to, for sure.
Believer gets a hand on it.
She's giving Stanford, again, a really good spark off the bench.
Yep. 10-point Stanford lead.
Big possession for Utah here.
Help D down on Peely. She'll set a screen instead, and the defense by Jump.
The Queen tried to snake it, and the ball dribbled off of, I think, Prechtel's foot.
Turns for Utah. Now turnover by the Cardinal. Palmer with the crossover, gets it to go.
That was Tim Hardaway quick. Oh my gosh, for any old people that are watching the broadcast right now. That was quite a crossover.
Utah able to get it down again under double digits. And a high screen, the whistle. Gonna go against Utah, trying to push through it. Will take the timeout. 4.5 minutes left in this one. As Haley Jones doing what she does best. But Izzy Palmer bringing it right back at him. 8-point Cardinal lead.
The mid-range floater. Cameron Brink is our jockey difference maker of the game.
But 4 personals, she is sitting and watching for the 3 assists, a steal, 3 blocks, 13 boards, 5 of them offensive rebounds. Just the effort's been there.
I give her about a minute, and then I'm going to let her finish it out.
Yeah. Tyler Vanderveer probably hoping others can get it done. As Jones slicing around, and wow, off off the side of the backboard and lays it up.
That long layup is just pretty hard to take away.
Yes. Really gotta be hard to defend.
Fantastic move. With Brink on the bench, that's what Haley Jones needs to do. She needs to step up and try to put this game away. Lots of time left. If I'm Utah, I'm just staying calm, staying poised, one possession at a time. There's a lifetime left.
21 for Jones, shot short for Peely. Jones will bring it up.
Jones at her best.
Oh, tries another one. Jenny Johnson got back though.
Great take. Stanford just wants to stop fouling. I mean, that's, you want to stop the clock right now. Utah is definitely making their free throws. And those are the things that I think frustrate Tara.
Ben Roberts' team first in the conference in free throw shooting coming into this one. 77% free throw shooting team.
First in almost every offensive category.
Yeah. He's really been dominant.
Jenna Johnson for the three. Oh, wow. Peely just comes out of nowhere to grab that, and Indian Navarre definitely undercut her a little bit. So that's going to be Utah's ball.
And
another foul on Stanford.
After this one.
So Stanford's at 4. We got one more, and they're in the bonus.
Yeah. With a lot of time left.
With a lot of time left, yeah.
Be an advantage for Utah.
Big possession here for Utah.
Neepkins from behind the three and then takes it in, lays it up good.
Great poise. You have Fran Malili coming out on a hard closeout. You might want to fake and go around her. the dunk master.
She gets it back under the double digits. Neepkins has 16 now. Jones has really going at work.
Yes. Curling off the little post-up play. Great pass by Fran Malili. Great finish by Haley Jones.
23 points for Haley Jones.
I think I might get a bucket here or call a timeout. Utah might need to look at pressing at this point.
Yeah, they have done that at times.
They have more of a zone press, but they need something because Stanford's definitely going to bleed this clock out if they don't.
For sure.
Get the game into a full court game again.
Peely out on Prechtel. The shot just flat.
That would have been a dagger.
Just a little over 2 minutes left in the game. These teams tied 5-1 in conference play. And reach in on the hook three by the Levy. This crowd letting the officials know how they feel about it.
And that's going to be 5, so she's going to be shooting 2 free throws.
So a big plus for the Utes.
So great little duck in, post play. That's a foul. You're coming across the arm, and there's really no need. Just make her make the shot, get your box out.
It's all about how you go about it, and as Peely brought the arm down, Peely gets the first free throw.
So we'll see if Utah comes out, gets into their press here off the make. Oh.
1 for 2 for Peely. And a whistle on Palmer at the other end.
I don't think Palmer was trying to foul. I think she was just trying to put a little pressure on the outlet pass.
She'll pick up full court. Neepkins will come down.
Gives Utah a chance to set up a press, though. Just a little bit of man pickup. The thing is, you got to press earlier now because you can advance when it gets under 1 minute. So it really negates your ability to get be in your aggressive full court press the last minute of the game. So coaches kind of have to make that adjustment. And sometimes, a minute and a half I'll press. You really got to press more with 2.5 minutes.
Cameron Brink back on. She was trying to draw contact and does from Peely. Peely was trying to draw the charge, was trying to draw the 5th on Brink. Instead, Brink will go to the stripe. Peely's going to come over and get that leg wrapped again. I don't know if she has a scratch or what it is, but they keep covering it up.
Keeps getting knocked off.
She's
going to have quite the ice bath tonight.
And nothing but net on that one for Brink.
Maybe a little biofreeze.
A little bit anything they're willing to help her with.
Yeah, it's been a hard-fought game and probably a little bit more Stanford's style in terms of, Tara really wanted to go get in the paint, get her big three going, and they did a very good job in transition defense. I mean, it's not easy to slow Utah down. They slowed them down. Gave up a few buckets in transition, but overall did a great job.
Hesitation by McQueen, but the defense didn't fall for it.
And that's kind of been the story for Utah. Stanford's run them off the three-point line, and they've just put their head down and gone in and just haven't read the length on the floor and had way too many shots blocked.
Johnson.
Speaking of well, that's not reading the space on the floor, and that was probably a good call, actually.
And foul on Brink. That is her fifth. Frustration from her, letting the officials know that she'll take a seat.
So when you spin and you're a little off balance versus just getting to 2 feet and then pivoting, makes a big difference, and you don't get those charge calls. And as Cameron Brink continues to evolve as a perimeter player, she'll get better and better at those things. Graham Bellini almost got another steal. Hands are active. Neepkins behind the screen. And that's just kind of been the story of the day, Krista, right? Just in and out, in and out. When they have gotten good looks, they normally knock down. They're just not falling.
Utah, 35% three-point shooting team. And tonight, 4 of 24. Just haven't fallen when they've needed them.
I've coached a lot of games in here, and I would say on average, our shooting percentage was probably 10 to 15% below what we normally shoot. Mm-hmm. We would come to shoot around. We would shoot amazing. And it's just, it's the length, it's the defense, and it's Maples Pavilion. It's the crowd. It's a very tough environment.
Well, you would know, this is your
as would
alma mater.
Pac-10 / Pac-12 coaches.
Yeah. Is it a different vibe coming back as a commentator now and not as a coach going against your alma mater?
It is. I feel a little more just at home and a little welcome.
Good.
So, not the enemy.
That's the way you like it. And so it looks like Stanford's going to take care of this one. They will move to 6-1 in conference play. Utah will move to 5-2. They'll head over to Cal. They've got a matchup with the Bears on Sunday. We'll have that for you on Pac-12 Network. And Stanford will await Colorado Buffaloes. They, too, have just one loss in conference play with their win today against Cal. Jones really turned it on in the second half. Oh, and finally a three to fall for Utah. It's a little too late.
Too little, too late.
So Tara Vanderveer adds to her totals 1,175 career wins now. The all-time winningest. Chatting with Lynn Roberts, 8-year head coach.
Lynn's like, see you in Salt Lake. See you in Salt Lake. But, we knew that Stanford was going to respond well. They were all so disappointed in their performance at USC. Give USC credit because they're a fantastic team, but great response by Stanford.
It's going to do it for us, for Charlie Turner Thorne and our entire Pac-12 Network crew. I'm Krista Glenn saying so long from Stanford. You've been watching Pac-12 Women's Basketball on Pac-12 Network. Thanks for being with us, everybody. Listen now to our Pac-12 Network studios. Good night, everybody.
Well, that's how you bounce back. Stanford and Haley Jones taking down Utah at home. 74-62 is the final 18th straight conference win on the farm for Stanford as we welcome you inside our Pac-12 Network studios. Angela Taylor, Ashley Adamson back with you. And you knew Tara was going to have her team dialed in. You knew it was going to be a battle, and that's pretty much how it played out.
How you respond to a loss is key. Where Stanford is trying to go, you have to be able to respond. And you can tell they had a tough few days of practice, and they were focused. They executed the plan, and they attacked. Their points in the paint was the big differential in this particular game. But to see Cameron Brink, who's been consistent all season long, and Haley Jones step up for 25 points in this game, I think it's a season high for her as well. Probably good for her to see the ball go to the basket today.
Yeah, and you mentioned points in the paint, 42-26 advantage to the Cardinal. All right, let's take you through this one in case you missed any of it. Top 10 showdown early on. Cam Brink to Hannah jump.
And if they're going to run you off the three-point line, beat them in another way.
There you go, and one. All right, second quarter now. Brink finishing, nice touch there, and she just continues to show up.
She's so versatile, being able to score in many ways, and just you can tell she's a fierce competitor. She's not going to let them lose.
Haley Jones, you talked about watching the ball go through the bucket for her, a lay-in there. Stanford up 9. Alyssa Peely
came to play.
She did. She also had 25 points. Gianna Neepkins, seen her do that, 19 for her. How about Cam Brink?
What are you going to do? Inside, outside, she has it all.
Brink's line was fantastic. 25 points, 9 of 12 from the floor, 14 rebounds, her 9th double-double of the season. And Haley Jones, you mentioned as well, a season-high 25 points for her, 10 of 17 from the field. And this is one of those games, we talked in the pregame about how USC was able to lay off her a little bit, kind of take her out of her game and challenge her on some different things. What did you see in particular from her tonight?
Well, there's two things about Haley Jones' game today. First, Utah doesn't have the same type of perimeter players that will be able to put the same on-ball pressure on her. But also, Stanford did a nice job with Haley Jones in the high post and had her attack. She's not a great jump shooter just off the pass, but get her on the move, get her with her 1 or 2 dribble pull-up, and that's where she was effective. And again, I think that will be interesting to see how they're able to use that in moving forward.
Neither team shot the three all that well. Stanford was 4 of 14 from deep, Utah 5 of 26, so that wasn't going down. But let's go back to points in the paint, because that is really where Stanford won this thing.
Stanford did a great job of attacking the paint in a variety of ways. It was Cameron Brink going left and right and attacking off the dribble, so difficult to defend when she's facing up to the basket. And then if you're going to deny the wings at the three-point line, they have to be able to go back door. Nice pass from Haley Jones there. They also did a nice job of getting out in transition, created 9 turnovers for this Utah team, allowing Stanford to get out in transition, so open up their offense.
All right, so Stanford's got Colorado on Sunday, which is going to be a big matchup. But let's talk about Utah and kind of where they go from here. They're Sunday in Berkeley against Cal. And we've seen Cal play ranked teams right into the fourth quarter, and they've been so close. They're not an easy out either. But this isn't certainly a bad loss for the run Utes, but how do you kind of regroup for Lynn Roberts? What's her message to the team this week?
The Utah team just needs to, again, go back to the drawing board. They didn't play particularly well today. Only shot 17% from the three-point line. Stanford did a nice job of defending the paint as well. Alyssa Peely is somebody that will be interesting to see if they'll be able to continue to go after her against Cal. Cal doesn't necessarily have a lot of post players, and so attack the paint with Alyssa Peely and see if that opens up the floor for your three-point shooters.